This latest story reading is brought to you by, you guessed it, Frank Stallone. My country 'tis of the sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. It's the 4th of July in the United States, and what's more American than He-Man, the Masters of Universe? The Masters of the Universe. Read all the words that are on the screen. And what's more me than a last-minute decision taking several hours because I couldn't remember the lyrics to My Country 'Tis of Thee 4 times. A lot. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and this is nobody's fault but mine. I know precious little about Masters of the Universe, so it was a little bit before my time. This was more my brother's thing, so let's see how we go. This book belongs to Smitty Weber Jagerman Jensen. I'm just gonna assume this is adapted from one of the episodes. If not, then it's an original story by Mary Carey and illustrated by, I always have trouble with that word, illustrated by Al McWilliams. A very Scottish Williams, I guess. It's a supposition I'm going to have to live with. The great castle Grayskull loomed on the horizon, seeming to grin. Yeah? That just always looks like that, doesn't it? Locked away. Actually, this is a little different from in this book, from what I remember. Mind you, I'm thinking of the Castle Grayskull playset they sold in the 90s. Oh yeah, you want merchandising? The real money from He-Man is made. Locked within a fuck. I'm going well. I'm already going on tangents, and it's only been the first sentence. This is going to be great. Locked within a fortress since the time of the elders, where the mystical secrets of ages past. Legend foretold that whoever controlled Grayskull's halls would gain mastery over the forces of the universe. As dawn broke, He-Man, powerful foe of the forces of evil, raced across the plains of Eternia astride the mighty Battle Cat. Is that? Oh, he's wearing armor. I almost didn't realize that was him. For the moment, at least, the strife-torn planet seemed almost peaceful. So He-Man seized the time to give the fighting tiger a vigorous workout. The great castle Grayskull loomed on the horizon. See me, what? Oh. Alright. You want to read it again? We can read it again. The great castle Grayskull loomed on the horizon, again, seeming to grin one more time. Locked within the fortress since the time of the elders, with the mystical secrets of ages past. Legend foretold that whoever controlled Grayskull's halls would gain mastery over all the forces of the universe. As dawn broke, He-Man, powerful foe of the forces of evil, raced across the plains of Eternia astride the mighty Battle Cat. For the moment, at least, the strife-torn planet seemed almost peaceful, so He-Man seized the time to give the fighting tiger a vigorous workout. We're going to be doing this a lot? No, okay. What's this? Cried He-Man. Why are you stopping? He-Man spied a well then, not far from the castle wall. That was oddly... What? I'm not sure those words should go in that order, but I am not Mary Carey, so I will, acquiesce. Acquiesce? Sure, why not? I've seen Pirates of the Caribbean, I know that word. I don't know how to use it apparently, but I know it. He-Man spied a well then, not far from the castle wall. Battle Cat wants a drink. Could Battle Cat talk? I guess he couldn't. Who am I thinking of? Was Snuff in this? Snuff wasn't in this, was he? No. I'm getting all my 80s cartoons mixed up because I never saw any of these. I grew up in the 90s, man. I'm sorry. Battlecat wants a drink, does he? Said He-Man. Just like any spoiled kitten. Perhaps I would trade you for a wind trader. Battlecat growl. We need Jesse from Free Willy. Battlecat growled a pitiful growl. Oh, very well, laughed He-Man. Ha 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 ha! And he drew up a bucket of water. Clang! Crash! What is this I hear? It's you dropping a bucket in a well. As Battlecat drank, strange sounds emerged from the well. Those are pretty normal well sounds. You're gonna hear a clang and a crash at some point from a metal bucket going up and down a stone well. Stone? Yeah, sure, why not? If I go off on too many tangents, I'm going to be here all morning. Warriors in combat? Oh, okay. Alright, yeah, I suppose the well doesn't sound like warriors in combat. We shall soon see. At the bottom of the well, He-Man found a rushing stream. Funny that. Water at the bottom of a well. Who would have foreseen this turn of events? Beyond the stream was a passage, low and dark. Caverns, exclaimed He-Man. Once I heard it whispered that there were caves under Castle Grayskull, caves so deep that man might be lost in them forever. The tale is true. I like this very C64 Commodore 64 color scheme. It's very soothing to me. He-Man started towards the tunnel. I put an S where there was none. Suddenly a monstrous shape rose up from the water behind him. That's just the creature from the Black Lagoon? I guess. That's probably an established He-Man character. How would I know? It was Merman, the dreaded Sea Lord. I'm not sure why I pronounced that like Stephen Toast. He tried to drag He-Man under the surface of the stream. Back, you monster, shouted He-Man, knowing even as he spoke that the evil Skeletor could not be far away. Why are you assuming that? Is he just wherever fighty creatures are? Is that the idea? Or is he just stalking He-Man at this point? So he's just because he doesn't seem to have anything else to do, honestly. But the foul sea demon clung fast. He-Man was too close to swing his power sword, but he managed to free one arm, which he brought down on Merman's head. Jesus Christ. Did he do more than bring it down? There's a thack. There's no sword, from what I can tell. Just the piece thing that Merman was wearing. What is that? Chest? Plate armor? Chest armor? Plate armor. It's not plate armor. It's not even plate. What's wrong with me? I've had a lot of caffeine, by the way. If you couldn't tell. That's this rambly mess. Anyway, Thack. MT. Did he grow eyebrows, or is that weird shading? Let's just move on. Merman. Also, I like the naming conventions here of hyphen man. Why isn't Skeletor skeleton or Skellman? Skellyman. Merman fell into the stream, stunned. The current caught him and carried him away. He-Man raced into the black and beckoning passageway. Somewhere in the... I can feel my throat clicking. I can feel it. I know that's going to come up. I know it's going to come out in the recording, and it's going to bug the fuck out of me and nobody else. Somewhere in the caverns ahead, there was a battle going on. Okay. Is it? It could be anything. Maybe it's somebody moving a very heavy cart full of metal things. Did you think about that? Under the castle? Moments later, He-Man found himself entering a huge underground chamber. Oh, hey, look, there he is. It's almost like we were told this was going to happen. What's going on with your foot? Should those bend that way, like that? I don't think they should. Look at those toes. Claws. That looks painful. Oh well, he's in a dynamic pose. In that chamber, He-Man saw his archenemy, Skeletor, Lord of Destruction. Does he oversee destruction? Do people come to him with plans for, like, demolishing buildings and other some such acts of destruction? My thesaurus is gone. I have no other words. He was battering the warrior maiden Teela, who had seen him steal into the well and followed him into the caverns. He-Man, thank heaven you're here. Skeletor plans to enter Castle Grayskull through this cavern. So, people know now. Oh, fuck, don't show me the foot. Oh, it's doing it again. Huh. But as He-Man started forward, Skeletor's dreadful ally Beastman, leaped at him from above. You'll not stop me this day, Beastman. He's gonna sell me some headphones. Beastman reeled backward toward the deep pit in the floor of the cave. He teetered there for a moment and then fell. He-Man snatched his sword from the dust where it had fallen and found himself face to face with Skeletor. Once again you interfere with my plans, He-Man. This time I will put an end to your meddling forever. My throat's just not help. Oh, fuck, that hurt. I'm going to keep trying it. Is that all? I hope that's all his dialogue. I was really hoping for a good Skeletor, but that was not. Is that all he says? Okay. The very ground shook as the swords of power clashed in battle. While He-Man and Skeletor faced off in their struggle, Trapjaw, Skeletor's henchman, took Teela by surprise. She was kicking his ass like 5 minutes ago, and now she is getting her ass handed to her by, her throat, I guess, handed to her by some random dickhead. All right, clang, clack. Oh no, there she goes. No, she's got this. All right. But the warrior maiden was well trained, and Skeletor's servant found that he had a fight on his hands. Yeah, kick ass. Oops, she's going for the suplex? I don't know wrestling. Soon, however, Trapjaw regained the advantage. He seized Teela and swung around to face He-Man. Yield, He-Man, he threatened as his steel arm tightened around her body. Release her, boomed a voice from the tunnel. Trapjaw turned to find Man-at-Arms approaching, swinging his mace. An instant later, Stratos, Kratos, the winged warrior soared into the cavern. I'm gonna go with all of those. It doesn't matter. Nobody watches these. Who cares? Brian. With split-second timing, he lifted Teela out of harm's way. He-Man returned to the fight. He charged at Skeletor as he swung the power sword However, the fiendish Lord of Destruction vanished. A green mist hung where he had stood. Wow, why did he even show up? There seemed to be no end to his magic powers. Also, this just popped into my head. There's an old game series called Valhalla. Series? I think there was only one of them. Called Valhalla. And all I remember from that is the intro to the game where there's a prince character and he introduces himself as the Prince of Valhalla. And he talks about his father, who has a name. And then he talks about his father's younger brother, who was named the Lord of Infinity. He didn't have an actual name. He was just called the Lord of Infinity. So I like to think that his parents named him, like he's like Lord of Infinity Jones or something. Anyway, that just, I always get a chuckle out of that. We up safe for now, my friends. Thanks to you, said He-Man. Thanks to you, Skeletor has fled. He has no stomach for even fights. Still, we must make sure that no one ever tries to enter Castle Grayskull this way again. They're going to collapse the well. I know, they're just going to block the... Gee, well... Good thing there are no archaeologists. You know what I mean. Science people in Eternia. He-Man's sword flashed out. Again and again he struck at the stone formations in the cavern. There was a rumbling from above. The earth trembled as the walls began to cave in. Are they ever called that? Is it just the name of the show, or do people actually... Are they actually called the Masters of the Universe in the show itself? I don't remember if they ever have been called that, but then again, like I've said many times, I have not seen the show itself. I saw the recent continuation, I guess it would be, where I was about to scream out a spoiler there, but I won't. Did that ever get... They never went back to that, did they? Everyone got all pissy over the thing that happened in it, I guess, and they just never went back to it. The Masters of the Universe fled down the dark passageway to the well. Behind them in the caverns echoed and boomed, as they filled with rocks and dirt. The underground passage to the castle Grayskull was now sealed forever. Battle Cat was waiting at the top of the well. Wow, he just gave up, didn't he? Kind of thought Skeletor would put up a little more of a fight, but no, he just fucked off. I guess this is the end of the story. It's a good thing he only had one thing to say, because I don't think I could have kept that for an entire book. Battle Cat was waiting at the top of the well. You are a faithful animal, said He-Man, waiting patiently all this time. A clever animal, you mean, said Man-at-Arms. It was he who found us in the forest. When we saw him alone, we were afraid for you. He led us here. So, said He-Man, a live cat is a better steed than a machine. He may need water, but was this a conflict that, or is this like an ongoing thing with them? I guess. He may need water, but there is much he can do that a machine cannot. At this, Battle Cat gave a great rumbling purr. Then the warriors parted. We've not seen the last of... No shit. No, you got about 100 more episodes of this bullshit. He's just going to keep showing up, finding ways to get into Castle Grayskull. It's a bit like Pepe Le Pew at this point. You just gotta bat him with a newspaper, he'll go away. It'll be fine. Maybe give him a little spray of water. We've not seen the last of Skeletor, said He-Man, knowing the Lord of Destruction would strike again. We'll be ready for him, replied Teela, as a strange quiet fell over the plains of Eternia. The plains of Eternia. Hey, look, more books. The weird thing is, when I looked for these, because I wanted to see when they were published, like, more nuanced publishing date than 1983, whoops. And when I looked for this book specifically, I couldn't actually find it. All I could find was an entire different set of books that are also Masters of the Universe Golden books. So, fuck knows when this was published. Also, apparently when I'm tired, I swear more. Because I didn't swear so much in the video that you haven't seen yet, but And I swore a fuckload in the video that I just up and didn't bother doing anything with. I was not happy with it. Anyway, that was the Caverns of Fear. It's a good thing it's right there in the bottom corner because I forgot what the book was called. And if you buy any of these Masters of the Universe storybooks, you will find inside high adventure, exciting action, spellbinding magic. Mighty heroes defend their world against the forces of evil. Well, just that one guy. And the Lord of, the forces of evil and the Lord of destruction. And now I'm rambling. Bye.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
They weren't very fearful caverns, were they?